What's up, YouTube fam? It's Baby from TheZenDoc here, and it's good to see you. I hope everyone is doing well. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Either way, if you're not subscribed, I really hope that you will subscribe because it supports the work that I do and also ensures that you continue to get your inspiration, because that's what I promise you will be coming at you from this channel. This is an idea for a new body of work that I would love to explore. As always, I'm an artist and there are no guarantees. I don't know if this will come out in the way that I have envisioned it, but I truly hope that it does. And I end up really loving the outcome of it. So it is an experimental process. And as an artist, you cannot be afraid to experiment and see where the journey takes you. So that's what we're going to do today. I have two pieces of wire mesh sheets. Usually I tend to use like a roll that's a lot more flexible, but for the purpose of this work, I got one that's a little bit more sturdy. And off camera, I did play with this one just to see if I could work with it. A part of me was a little worried that maybe it was a little bit more sturdy than what I wanted, but I think that it should work perfectly. And so this one is going to be a little different from my typical 3D art, and on your end, I hope that this one is easier to follow. As always, all of the materials that I use will be linked in the description box. So if you have any questions about that, just check the description box for the links. As the next step, what I will be doing is covering the entire wire mesh back and front with a layer of plaster bandages, which I have here. And I will be doing that by just wetting the plaster bandage and laying it over the wire mesh and just going over that with my brush. It's going to be messy just because, you know, it is mesh. And so there's nothing to catch the fallout of that. So if you're going to be doing this, do this on a surface that you can clean. But anyway, let's get started. So I've covered one side of the mesh with a layer of plaster bandages, and it's going to take some time before I work on the back. So right now, since we've got this part set up, I'm just going to continue. It's not fully dry yet, but it's starting to dry. In any case, because I'm a little impatient and because of that, it's okay. My next step is to layer my joint compound paste, which I've got some left over here. And I'm going to begin to apply that over the wire mesh. And I'm going to apply maybe a couple layers today and let it dry. And that's where we're going to stop. Over the next few days, I will work on the back as I have more durability and as the front, you know, begins to dry. So let's get back to work. able to add 2 layers of the joint compound paste to this, and it's a bit strong and durable at this point. Also earlier, I didn't film this, but I went around all of the edges with additional plaster bandages just to kind of secure the sculpture, because all of the edges are sharp or were sharp. And I'm just showing you this to remind you of what the edges looked like. And that's why I needed to add an additional layer of plaster bandages just to make sure that I can cover up all of the edges in a way that does not cause harm to whoever buys this piece. And so that's what you're seeing. That's why it's a little wet. But anyway, to continue today, I'm going to start adding layers of my joint compound paste to the back of the sculpture. I'm not going to add plaster bandages because I don't want to, waste them. And because at this point, I know that whatever I add will not fall through the mesh, given that the front is already covered. And so I'm just going to be building up with joint compound paste today and over the next couple of days. Ideally, I would have preferred to use a thick paste for this, but I have some left over here, and so I'm going to just go ahead and use that first. So this is what we've got today, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. If you can't guess by my mask, today is a sanding day for this piece, so that's what I will primarily be doing. I'm going to take some time to sand off all of the inconsistencies, also focus on the edges and try to keep the edges as cohesive as possible. And likely after sanding, I will still go in with my joint compound mixture, a really light mixture, and just cover up any areas that need to be covered up after sanding. And once that's done, we'll be ready to paint this piece. I will say at this point, my biggest headache, what I'm still going back and forth over, is how am I going to hang it, given that it's just a sculptural piece, front and back. But I think my idea would be to glue on a wood panel or wood sheet on the back, which will allow me to attach a sawtooth hanger to the back of it. That's the idea that I have. I really hope that it works, but we'll check back in when it's time to do all of that. So it is now ready to be painted, and before I do that, because I am planning to paint this in an alcohol ink, I will have to prime the piece first. And so I have my go-to primer here. I'm just going to apply a coat over the piece, walk away, give it some time to dry, and we'll check back in when it's time to paint. So it's dry and ready to be painted, and I will be using this paint from Green Stuff World in the color Anthrax Metal. As always, all of the links will be left in the description, so if you're interested in any of the materials I use, just check the description box. But yeah, I'm going to start by painting the back of the piece first and proceed to the front. So I'm feeling a little hungry and I'm going to take a break from painting and actually glue this piece of plywood that I cut to the back of the piece. And that's because it's such an interesting shape that I don't really want the anchor, whatever is going to help it hang on the wall, to really show. And so I just cut off this small piece of plywood with a hand saw. And what I'm going to do is glue it to the back of the sculpture with the help of my heavy duty Gorilla Construction adhesive. And when it's done drying, I will continue painting. But for now, I just want to take a break and let this glue sit while that's happening. So I'm just going to get into it. I realized one plywood sheet was not thick enough to hold the hanger, so I cut out another piece in the same size and measured out where I was going to place the hanger. I will also say that probably my biggest mistake here was not cutting a smaller piece of plywood, as it still ended up becoming a little visible, but this was my first experimental piece, so we live and learn. But going forward, whatever plywood sheet I cut will definitely be much smaller, as I don't need a lot of real estate for the sawtooth hanger. I finished off the sculpture by painting the front. I also painted the plywood to match the color, so everything blended together. When it was fully dry, I sprayed it with a gloss spray varnish just to elevate the look and add to the shine. So this is how it came out. I'm really glad I went for it. I've wanted to try freeform wall sculptures for a long time, and now I have a process for doing it, and I'm really happy. You shall be seeing more of things like this or sculptures that look like this, since I really enjoyed this process and it's taught me more. So I'm looking forward to the next one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. Is this something you'd be willing to try? Do you have other ideas for how to hang it? Let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows it's valuable and they can recommend it to other creatives who can benefit from it. If you haven't subscribed, please support me by hitting the subscribe button. And as always, it's been so much fun hanging out with you today. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.